Big up and a warm welcome back to Sports Centric. Sorry if you can't see me, the light's a bit bright where I am, unfortunately. But yeah, this is more of a video that I wanted to complete yesterday, last night, I should say. About more of my thoughts on Tottenham Hotspurs and more about their thoughts on WrestleMania 42. I didn't really quite finish it yesterday, but as I'm going through, yeah, I'm understanding YouTube a bit more and I'm understanding Restream a bit more. So please bear with me and please send your thoughts and your comments and leave them in the comment section because I want to grow this channel and I want to grow it organically. So any comments will be it would be nice on this occasion. Right now, enough of the formatories and let's go on to the thoughts. Now, I was thinking of WrestleMania 42 first because I'm going to flip it. Actually doing live here, flip the script. If it doesn't work the way that you want it to do, flip it, turn it around, put it on his head. I had an argument with a boss of mine. Digress. I love digression. I had an argument with a boss of mine one time, yeah. She said, "Oh, why are you doing enough work?" And I looked at her and I said, "Am I bad at my job? Because if I'm bad at my job, please tell me now. Please sack me now. Otherwise, yeah, please allow me to do my job." And by doing that, I flipped the script on the person. They were now left flabbergasted and asking the questions. And that's what I say in life. Challenge yourself. Always motivate yourself. I can't ask for standards from Tottenham Hotspurs, for example, and then not have standards in myself. I have to have some level of pride and standards in myself to be asking it from other people. Otherwise, you become a hypocritical person. And that's just not me. And it's taken some good YouTuber to put that into my mind. When I think that I had to learn business here in order to be able to understand just the levels of how badly as a club Spurs are run, I have to thank that person for challenging me and putting that in my mind and in my perspective. So big up to Sean Butler every single time, because that man challenged me and I rose to the occasion and I realized that I could learn about the SMART technique, SMART. And I can learn about the laws on confidentiality and the laws on data protection and be able to run a YouTube channel and data promotions, thanks to Sean Butler. So I will always thank this man for doing that. Because without a challenge in life yet, you don't know how far you can actually go. And with that, I'm going to thank another mate of mine, and that's my brother from another mother, Sabah, because he is another person who has challenged me and made me better. My mind snaps from time to time because of the amount of information that I get. But I must thank him every single time. Now, with that Oscar-winning thing said by my brother Brian Daigle, as he likes to say, I do Oscar-winning speeches. I'm going to carry on with the content, and it's WrestleMania 42. What am I looking forward to? Like I said, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk stands out for me. That's the match that I'm looking forward to the most. On match night 2, thanks to Pat McAfee, we now know it's going to be night 2. The Vision and ISO Speed versus the Usos and let me get it right, LA Knight, night 1. It doesn't have that kind of build for me. It doesn't feel, it feels rushed. That's what it feels like to me as a fan, and I'm looking at it. I feel that Usos and LA Knight will win, yeah, because it's WrestleMania, and what WWE try to do is to give that feel-good factor. So I feel like they're going to have the Usos win. But if the Usos and LA Knight do lose, I would like to see they actually turn Jey Uso. And that could lead into the Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, because a few weeks ago on Raw, if you can remember, there was a bit where Jey Uso was conducting Roman Reigns and basically telling him to lose control. So I would like to see them build on that storyline, possibly. The Stephanie Becker versus Liv Morgan, I talked about last night briefly, but I'd like to see more on that angle as well, because it would be nice to see Liv Morgan get that title. Like I said, WWE just released a video of her, so the marketing around it seems that it's going to be Liv Morgan beating Stephanie Becker. And Stephanie's had a good title run, to be fair. And I can't really see another storyline after her, so I would like to see Liv Morgan get the belt. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. I think Becky's going to win this one. It's two for two for AJ so far, but I feel that at WrestleMania we're going to see Becky Lynch shine, because Becky does shine at WrestleMania. She was the first woman to win both titles at WrestleMania, beating Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. So let's see. And that's also night one. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Where are we going with Seth Rollins these days? Because we had him facing the Vision, after the Vision turned on him when he had the injury with his arm, and my gosh, that was a bad arm injury. If you actually watch where the Vision turned on him, his arm was out of place. So this Gunther rivalry, I'm looking at it and thinking that's kind of rushed as well. You see, this might be the theme of WrestleMania. It feels like a lot of the matches are being rushed. And for me, the Seth Rollins versus Gunther match is rushed in the fact that Gunther has no allegiances to the Vision. He's not in the Vision. Yet why is he helping Heyman? But that's by and by. We'll probably find out more of that later on anyway. But night 2 is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Like I said, Jade Cargill has impressed me since the Elimination Chamber last year, when she came back and she just dominated Naomi. The beatdown she gave Naomi, even in the elimination, in the cell, through the cell door itself, and then grabbing the cell door and crushing it against it. I was like, yeah, you're dominant, love. You're one of them women that, I don't want to mess with you. And then as the year progressed, we saw more and more of this domination. Like I said, against Tiffany Stratton when she won the title, that was just pure domination. Those 2 power bombs, followed by Jaded Edge. And when she does Jaded Edge, if you watch Tiffany Stratton's arm, it's like, no more. It's like, one more. And it's just like, go on, love. And she just absolutely steamrolled her. And since she's had the title, she's not really had creditable rivalry. She had Jordynne Grace, but Jordynne Grace was still on the step up from NXT, so you weren't expecting Jordynne Grace to beat her. And really and truly, I would have loved it to be Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair, but the injury to Belair is like more serious than we've actually been told. So good luck to Bianca Belair. Hopefully she's back soon. But her versus Rhea Ripley, I would love to see Jade Cargill win that. I'm sorry, I would. I know it's mommy, but hey, this is Jade Cargill here. A storm is coming. That's all I'm saying. Now, the Demon versus Dominic Mysterio. I think that the Demon's going to win this one just because it's WrestleMania. And the fans have been crying for the Demon, and it's been years since Finn Balor's had that persona. So it would be nice to see just how far they're going to go with this match. But you know what? I think the surprise one's going to be the ladder match for the Intercontinental title. And fair play to Penta for putting it up at kind of a 5-man, 6-man Money in the Bank, but this time for a title ladder match at WrestleMania. We are going to see Rey Mysterio. We are going to see Mr. Bouncy, G-Von Evans. We are going to see JD McDonough, and we're going to see Dragon Lee all perform in a ladder match. And and forgot, you got Rusev with the power as well. But if you've got those 5 lightweights jumping around on a ladder, it's going to be one almighty match I'm hoping for. where we're going to see all kinds of manners of dives from the ladder. So I'm looking forward to that match as well. But like I say, the crowning moment is going to be Roman Reigns if he finally gets that title back. Because to me, yeah, he has just been Mr. Wrestling for the last 6 years at least. Champion, like I said, only Bruno Sammartino and Hulk Hogan have a longer title reign than Roman Reigns. So I'd like to see him get back to the top of the mountain with the title again. And plus, he's the tribal chief. What more can I say? His promos are just phenomenal. When you look from where he went from the Shield, yeah, where he couldn't really throw a promo, to the promos he's doing now, it's night and day. And that's all you can ask for as a fan, to see that kind of progression from a kind of athlete like Roman Reigns. Is that you've learned from your mistakes, you've gone and studied it, and you've gone and improved yourself. And that's all I ask for as a paying customer, just to see that from that kind of dedication and hard work. And as we've talked about dedication and hard work, we'll go to Tottenham Hotspurs, because this is a perfect segue to Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, we're going to hear all kinds of manners of things. If Tottenham stay up, we will clean the squad, we will do this, we will do that. Stop. As a fan, just stop. Listen to what they say and take a step back. Wait till the summer window unfolds and see if their actions match the words that they come out with. Last year, they had Daniel Levy and Vinay Venkatesham had a lovely powwow where they were drinking wine and saying that Spurs, they want us to win the Champions League and win the league and win trophies. Now, thanks to Sean Butler, like I said earlier in the video, I learned business. And one thing I did learn is the SMART technique. Emphasis on the last letter in SMART technique, time. When you're about to market it or analyze it or anything like that, you have to have some level of SMART, research, analyze, time. Now, when I watch Tottenham Hotspurs, they've never given us a time frame for when they want to achieve this. So this could be 25 years, this could be 50 years. No one actually knows, because it's so vague that we just don't know what you're intending to do before you get there. But every year you keep raising the prices, which means that you're now putting more expectations on what you should be doing. If you're going to raise the prices, you raise the expectations. That just goes hand in hand, which has always been my grievances with Tottenham Hotspurs. How can you charge some of the highest prices in the league, but have so low expectations and bring in so low quality level players? Yet you have the audacity to go and charge some of the highest prices in world football. And I remember meeting Brian Daigle, big up my brother Brian Daigle, every time at the NFL protest, and I asked the question then. Because surprisingly, when I went down there, their minds were telling me that Tottenham fans pay more than Liverpool, yet Liverpool win trophies. They're playing double what Manchester City fans are paying, yet they're winning trophies and seeing world-class goals. What as a fan base are we doing here? We have bent over backwards. Everything ENIC have asked for, we have given them. Now, I praise ENIC for their business acumen. Fair play to you. You've made money from the club. But my grievance is, give the people back something in return. You can't have a business and then disregard the core product. What are we doing here? But this is what's happened at Tottenham Hotspurs over the years. While they've made money from the match days, the squad itself, has been whittled down to what we see today. Years we had of Harry Kane and Heung-min Son basically protecting the squad and carrying the squad. But at some point, that was always going to end, because players get on. Players want to move on. They want to try and make something of themselves at some point in their life. Leave a legacy behind. And if they're not winning anything, why would you want to get into football? And this is where I'm going to bring it back to the first segment of wrestling and Stone Cold Steve Austin. There was an interview years back here during the Attitude Era where they asked Stone Cold here, and he said, if you're not in the WWE to win the title, then what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. And as a fan, if Spurs are not here to go and win trophies, what are we doing here? But every year we get an excuse of, well, this player, oh, that player. Look, the level of quality has been poor for years. Players brought in with no strategy in mind. There's no contingency plan for life after Kane and Son. Everything is built of opportunity and based off finance. Even sacking a manager was more based off finance than it was to do anything else footballing wise. And if finance is governing your footballing decisions, then there's something severely wrong. It has to be a myriad of both ambition and. But like I said, sometimes this is the ramblings of my mind, and it's up to you. Please feel free to put stuff in the comment section, like I say, so that I've got some kind of thing to bounce off, because that's what it's about. At the end of the day, these are just, like I say, opinions. People can either love me or hate me, and I really just don't care. To be fair, I'd rather just be frank with you. I find it's better to be frank and honest with people than it is to lie or embellish on something and then we find out it's not true, because then once you've embellished on it, there's nowhere left to turn. This is why I always like to treat people with respect and treat them with the kindness that I hope they treat me, by giving me the honest truth, a feedback, whether they like it or not. And I want it to be not just a small "I hate you," but I want it to be a "why do you hate what I have to say?" Give me some context in your answer. Use the basis of your mind. Search for an answer of why you disagree with a comment I've said. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here on this light. Thank you very much for tuning in. 18 minutes, my gosh, Jesus. I feel like, well, yeah. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Sports Centric later. Oh, before I forget, man, what am I doing here? That Joker thing across the screen again? What a night of Champions League football last night, before I forget. Because I've been so down with Tottenham Hotspurs, I'm going to pick you all up with the Champions League last night. What a game, Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. Two teams that both went out for it, and Bayern Munich won out in the end, 4-3. Elise sealing it after they won 2-1 at this Bernabeu last week. But this is what I meant by now the real Champions League has begun. Fair play to Atletico Madrid for beating Barcelona again. They knocked them out of the Spanish Cup a few weeks beforehand, and they repeated the dose this week, so it shows that it was not a fluke, that they seem to have Barca's number. And even that scumbag down the road, Arsenal, getting through against Sporting Lisbon. So I feel it's going to be Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal, and it's going to be PSG versus Bayern. Now that is going to be a game. PSG versus Bayern Munich. We're going to have some thrills and spills in that one, I believe. There's going to be some goals in that one. And I think Bayern will go through, because Bayern seem to have PSG's number in the last few years. They beat them in a Champions League final a few years back, and they seem to have their number. And defensively, I'm suspect on PSG anyway. Going forward, yeah, they're a threat, but defensively, they can be got at. But then the PSG team, yeah, are heavily, well, the France team in the World Cup, yeah, we're going to see a lot of the PSG forward line in there. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. We're going to talk about France, before the World Cup, because if I see Deschamps go with a 3-man defensive midfield, I'm going to lose my stuff. Because what I look at, yeah, is a manager has to go out there with the mindset of wanting to attack. And France have enough of good attacking players to not have to play a three-man defensive midfield. That is awful to see that, because that means that you're going there with the express mind there of going there to try and nick a result. I hate to see that, because that's passive play. Go out to win the game. If you lose, you lose. But at least you tried and put the effort in, and people paid a lot of money to go and watch that. They want to see you put it all on the line. But if you go in there with a mindset of a bit like Arteta, that I'd rather not lose the game or come out of it, you're going to lose. We will see, hopefully we'll see some of this on the weekend when Man City play Arsenal, to be fair. Because I'm looking forward to this calamitous ride from Arsenal. But it's been coming all year, to be fair, because even in the early games against Liverpool, they were playing there with a defensive-minded mindset. So, hey, who am I to disagree at the end of the day? A little bit of mannequin here. Who am I? Who am I to criticize? As the man said. So, yeah, now I'm going to definitely end the show. Thank you very much for tuning in. And we'll see you next time on Sports Centric. Adios.